Isaac, we'll start with you. You came out of the cave. My mouth. Hold on. My mouth isn't moving. It's bugging me.
That's okay. It's just a classic film. It'll catch up eventually.
It's okay. Our mouths don't move either.
The okay, it's good now. It was just being dumb. There we go. All right. So you came out of the cave, and in front of you is a cliff face. Over the cliff face, you kind of see the world, but most of it's honestly obscured with fog. If you want to take a deeper look, you can, but aside from that, there's two directions you can go, and the only real clues you have at face value um is mainly signs. One points to the left and says certain death, and one points to the right and says a good meal and a nice conversation.
So Isaac's going to approach the sign and rest his arm on it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't trust the meal. We're gonna get eaten if we go that way. Are you alright, Fireball? What about you guys, Elise?
I agree. I think we should go to certain death fast.
And you, Backpack?
Uh, he's just looking like both sides. He's not exactly sure what to pick. But Mushmon, he's like, well, let's see. Death, food, and talk. I'm not sure.
Perception check allowed.
A perception check? Why, yes, a perception check is allowed. And what would you be looking for? Or whatnot?
Well, I'll try to see if I can like see through the path to see something like something peculiar or something like that. Maybe something I don't know that could like oh
Actually, can Mushmon jump in? He has tracker that he can use.
Um, sure, Elise, give me a perception, and Atlas. Tracker allows Mushman to receive bonuses to his perception check, right?
Yeah, he gets I could easily find a target. I get +4 bonus to my well, see if there's any traps, or enemies, or to follow a trail.
Gotcha. So, yes, you can both roll if you'd like. Ba-ba-ba. Well, so, Atlas, you said you receive a +4.
Well, it's Mushmon, so Mushmon gets his perception is +2,
Mm-hmm.
so he just gets a +4 to that.
I see. Oh, I see. You just rolled just okay.
It's a Mushmon roll. It's not an Atlas roll. Don't.
Yes. um, well, Mushman tries his best, and he honestly thinks that the path to certain death seems like the way to go. Elise, the main thing that you're able to pick up on is the path that says a good meal actually does smell good.
well I'll probably try to tell Isaac like, hey, I think I smell something nice from that direction and points to the path where it says there's a nice meal and a good conversation.
So Isaac will turn and look down that path, kind of trying to scope it out himself and trying to catch a whiff of the same scent.
Um, yeah, you wouldn't need to roll perception, like, if you're specifically smelling for it. You definitely smell good food from the path that says, a good meal. Atlas, what are you doing since, Mushman says that certain death seems like the way to go?
Well, Atlas, Atlas is still debating. Like he's still like making ideas on what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, certain death means there's nothing around him, but he may die. Food and conversation means there's people, and he doesn't like people,
Mm,
and doesn't trust people. So, like, he's debating on where to go. He was probably just gonna follow.
gotcha. Now, if it does impact your decisions at all, with the exception of Revi, who has eaten rotting trees, you all likely haven't eaten in the past almost 48 hours.
I mean, Atlas has rations.
Oh, that's fair. Have you been giving people your rations, or have you been eating in front of them?
Isaac's stomach growls and he looks around.
Rations he probably ate before going to bed, and that was pretty much the last time he ate. Like
Oh,
he has.
so you've been secretive with it. Okay, got it.
Well, we basically don't know each other, and like the only person that talks to me basically calls me backpack, and then really, like,
Yeah, no, it's fair. Like, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that, you've been secretive. Ooh, thanks for the follow, Lady of Pizza. But, speaking of food, but, so yes, Isaac, as you were saying.
I was just saying my stomach started audibly growling and I started to look around at the others.
Oh, just, okay, so you guys, Elise, is that,
I'll probably just say that a meal does sound tempting, though.
um, you know what? Lunamon, do you have a say here?
it has been a while since we ate.
I suppose we can try that road for a little while, but the second it gets dicey, I'm out.
Rather, Isaac. Oh, it's okay. He's been doing that. He's been blipping out of existence. Rather, Isaac. What's Coronamon doing? Because Coronamon sounds like the next go-getter of the group when Revi's not around.
Yeah, he's probably just panting and rested up against my leg because he did nearly die.
That's fair. Okay. um. So, you guys are heading towards the direction of the good meal?
Yep. Isaac's gonna scoop Coronamon up and plop him on his shoulders like a little kid and start walking.
Okay, Atlas, you said you'd follow wherever they go. That said, how's Mushmon feeling about being ignored? Like, where's he at with that?
Well, Mushroom doesn't feel like neglected by the
Mm-hmm.
fact that that, but like he sees that like Atlas is not doing anything, so Mushmon's just gonna go like we'll follow them because like there could be some answers, and then he'll start dragging Atlas.
Gotcha. So, now there's a reason why you all smelled good food. As you turn around a bend in the mountain, you come to a small pocket of sorts. Like the mountain opens up a little bit. It's not quite a room, but there on the ground, you all see a nice table set out with what looks to be delicious food.
Isaac's going to push his arm out, trying to tell the others to wait a minute and start looking around.
If you'd like, you can give me a perception check.
Woot, something not minimum.
Um, it would have been nice if this was any other situation, but it's not. You can tell that the food has been put out recently. It doesn't seem like anybody or anything is around, but the sign did say a nice conversation. So knowing that you expect there to be somebody?
Hello? Is whoever cooked this still here?
Um, Elise, Atlas, are you staying behind Isaac? Or are you like...
I'm standing behind Isaac, and I'm keeping an eye like on the food, trying to see if it's like if there's anything like bizarre or strange from it.
Doesn't seem like it. Alright, so Isaac, you don't necessarily get a response right away.
I guess we can check it out.
So does everyone go around the table and like take seats and stuff?
I'll probably like take Lunamon with me and look around the table and see if there are like traps under the seats or under the table just to make sure it's okay and safe.
Yes, it seems perfectly safe.
Then I look at Isaac and ask him, do you really think it's okay?
It's the first thing that hasn't tried to kill us so far, so I'm gonna eat while I can. And then Isaac will start grabbing some food off the table and eating slowly.
We'll get back to
Seeing
the
that,
we'll get back
oh,
to what Isaac just said, but Atlas, what are you doing?
Isaac is still skeptical because like we were on cliffside and we went towards food, and now there's a table set out.
Mhm.
Like Atlas is really thinking that this could be a trap, but like Mushmon's just like come on Atlas, let's go. We gotta eat sometime. He pushes him closer to the table, and then Mushmon sits at a chair and starts eating.
And Elise, do you start eating as well?
yeah, I do.
Okay, so as you all grab your nice forks and knives and whatnot, or if you use your hands, whatever, the food seems to be like delicious. Like the meat, as you cut into it, you can tell that it's very high quality, marbled perfectly. But just as you feel it touch your lips and all of your sensations start to flare up, the food seems to slip through the fork.
Like it was an illusion?
No, not quite like it was an illusion. Like, the first time it happens, your character might assume that maybe they just didn't, like, stab it well enough, but if you watch the others, you can clearly see the food almost, like, melting the moment it's about to hit their lips.
Yeah, so Atlas sees all that because he's not eating.
hmm And as this is happening, you just start hearing very loud, oh God, I love that one. It gets them every time. And turning the corner of the pocket, which by the way, would be your only way out. not
I'm
that,
back.
not that, this is necessarily a trap or an enemy, but you see a very large man with hair almost as tall as him going straight up. And he's dressed, well, he's kind of dressed like Valentine, to be honest, but perhaps even more colorful, with two very large swords on his back. Oh, as for chat, yes, I'm uploading to YouTube as episodic episodes, which I don't know if I will be uploading full VODs to YouTube. I might at some point, but for now, the full VODs will be on Spotify. But anyway, so
So when Isaac hears the laughing, he's going to shoot upright and spin towards the noise, holding the fork he was eating with forward like a weapon.
and
Atlas just ducks down.
and this very tall clown-like man will hold his hands out. Oh, oh, now, there's no reason to be concerned. I said a nice conversation on the sign, did I not? I mean, it might not have been so nice if you went the other way, but you're here now.
And where exactly is here?
Uh, the table? The mountain? Were you perhaps looking for another answer?
I mean, no, I suppose you're not wrong, but you probably don't get too many humans around here, and we don't get too many Digimon where we're from. So, could you maybe enlighten us on what may or may not have been going on lately down here?
Oh, yes, it isn't often we get humans. The six of you are quite fascinating, really. But, you said enlighten you as to what's going on. Well, I suppose I should. Oh, we have a Revy.
I'm so sorry. I was busy. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. So, to summarize, they decided to go the way of good food and a nice conversation instead of certain death. You all sat at a table to eat. The food melted from your lips to just kind of tempt you and piss you off. And then a very tall clown man started laughing as he approached. A conversation had started. You'd actually recognize the clown as the person who bowed and let you into the cafe in the first session.
Okay.
Yes. So the clown man would make his way to the end of the table, which would unblock your path, by the way. He'd no longer be standing in the way. Actually, I don't know if there was a particular reason you were all brought to this world. However, I am glad you're all here because I need you to do me a favor. Oh, but I suppose you're missing one, right?
Yeah, he is running from a giant green monster in the sewers right now. We all nearly just died. In fact, we've been nearly dying since we got here.
Well, that does sound about right. Um, I could continue this conversation once he's arrived, but well, he might just die. Although I suppose that wouldn't be too much of a problem for me. Hmm, I know. Would the four of you like to make a deal to save your friend's life?
You already want our help. It sounds like you need to make the deal.
Can I I roll for decipher intent?
You can. Although I will throw out there ahead of time, it will be a very hard roll. But
Do it.
you can. Atlas, while she's rolling, do you have any thoughts?
Atlas is currently like hiding under the table.
Gotcha. Well, at the very least, this clown man seems very genuine. And turning to Isaac, well, no, really only one of you would probably do. Honestly, humans coming to the digital world, it's usually fanciful and the tales of adventure are wonderful to see, but I don't know, seeing you all die wouldn't be too much skin off my bones. I suppose I should tell you what I want first. Maybe then you'll have a better inkling of whether or not you'd like to make a deal with me to save your friend's life. So, this world, and as he's speaking, a rat like creature that looks like it's on drugs would start shuffling around the table, and he'd quickly cut its head off. And as blood spills all over the table, this world has changed. You see, I'm what you'd call evil. But in a world like this, what's the point? Where's the fun? I killed this rat, and does anyone care? Do any of you care? I'm sure you do. You're still from a world where everyone's, well, now your world's pretty miserable too, but not as miserable as this one. Does anyone have any responses so far?
Can you just tell us what you want?
Well, it's pretty simple, really. I'd like for you to save this world. Now, that's a tall order, and I don't really know how you'd go about it, but you're humans, and usually when humans come to this world, things like that end up happening.
Well, we can't save the world if we're dead. So, what do you want from us specifically?
Oh, it's pretty simple, really. Now, I know your friend has one, but I don't mind him having that. But the four of you, you have those digivices, right? How about this? I take your digivices, and then I bring your friend here, in one piece, safe and sound.
At this point, Coronamon, sitting on Isaac's shoulders, would start to thump his on Isaac's head, yelling back at the clown, "Absolutely not!"
And the clown would just form like a circle with his fingers and look through it as if he was peering at something. I don't know. It looks like your friend is in a pretty sticky situation, but if not, that's fine too. His life or his death, they don't mean much in the grand scheme of things, although I do like watching.
I'll probably ask him, like, why do you need the devices for?
Well, I've never really gotten to play with them before. They seem like fun toys to me.
And I'll probably ask him, what do we need to save the world from? Like, what kind of danger are we gonna face even?
Oh, I'm sure you'll face much more danger than you've seen so far. After all, if it was easy to fix the world, I would have done it already. And then destroyed it again, probably, but you know. I can't do either at the moment. But don't worry too much. You, humans, when you have partners, your partners tend to get very powerful over time. So, it might be possible for you to accomplish that.
While all the conversation would have been going on, Isaac would have been holding on to his Digivice and remembering every time something horrible has happened recently, it has done something to save them. And so he's going to look back up at the clown, bring us our friend first, and then you can see it for 5 minutes.
The clown would simply chuckle and is like, "Oh no, that's not the deal." And as this conversation is happening, I am going to steal
We loved you, Val.
Valentine. Valentine, whatever happens, remember that your friends could possibly stop it by giving up their digivices.
No, they mustn't.
Okay,
Piedmon will not get away with that. Oh, that would be good. Valentine keychain merch.
Valentine keychain merch. Boop,
It ain't gonna be no keychain merch. You gonna be on a t-shirt soon.
boop. Da, da, da.
This to
You know,
cats. Okay.
realistically, I should just have, like, still frame pictures of you guys, so this isn't an issue, but... Oh, or wait, can I just... No, that didn't work. Okay, that's fine. So, anyway... When we last left Valentine, he was currently being chased by what seems like an ogremon, a very large ogre-like creature, through the sewers. And Valentine, do you remember your agility and endurance rolls?
They were actually really high. I was actually happy with my rolls.
If I recall correctly, wasn't your agility run kind of low, but your endurance roll was pretty decent?
Trying to scroll up on the chat roll to see.
It's fine, it's fine. So, anyway, as you run,
Let me see. 46. Is that?
it would have.
I think that's the check. 46 plus.
And you mentioned to me that you would have had Trickmon use haste on you as you ran, right?
Yes.
So, running through the sewers, taking turns abruptly as the path changes, you seem to be gaining a little bit of ground on the creature, especially with your haste. Although your stamina isn't quite on par with the creatures. Now, what do you plan on doing as you run? And eventually your legs and breath will catch up to you, and you'll start to realize that you can't run forever.
So this Ogremon looks like he's gonna beat my face in, correct?
Yeah, I mean, the only time you've ever really got a good glimpse of him was in the darkness, so you can't tell if he has, like, I don't know, the happiest smile in the world or whatnot, but very large. He just, like, pounded four Gaburimon against the wall, splattered them, and gave chase to you guys. He doesn't seem friendly.
So then I would, realizing like, I'm actually decently intelligent that, hey, I can't run forever. He'll eventually catch up to me or I'll run out of energy. So while I still have energy, I should, do something. So I would, kind of slide to a stop and I would have Trickmon, of course, use, pardon me, the tricky hatter to confuse them, and I will use the, since I am telling him to do so,
Mm.
it would get a plus equal to my charisma, which is 7.
Right.
So you want me to go ahead and roll that? And, of course, getting my cards ready. All right, Trickmon, what we're going to have to do is confuse him, and then we're going to have to essentially get on the other side of him. Try to find the exit that our friends went out of. If they even escaped. And, then I would, have my cards ready for just in case I need to right in their face, get a little extra distraction, But the main goal is confuse and then go into defensive stance. Because I'm ordering and then, which is a quick, and then I would go into
Right.
defensive stance for
So,
Valentine.
so your plan is to confuse them, get on the other side, and then start running again. Now, you were actually gaining distance from the Ogremon, so was there anything you'd like to do before it catches up, or are you simply preparing to turn around?
Oh, so I was actually getting far away from it. Okay, I thought it was catching up on me. So is there like is it just a straight tunnel? Are there little dips I could go into? Um,
Um, you can give me a perception check. All you notice, like, just running would be the larger turns. It's not necessarily always straight. Sometimes you can go in various directions, but
oof. Um, I'll spend a point of inspiration to re-roll that.
sure.
I'll go ahead and inspiration used 1.
Do, do, do.
No, not plus 98. 18. All right, well that's a little bit better.
That's a little bit better. So as you're running, you do notice some small pathways. You don't really know if they lead to things, and it does seem like Ogremon could fit in them. However, you might have a better time of escaping through them.
Okay.
They're small enough to encumber him, essentially.
So then my goal will be to, as I see that tunnel, coming up or whatever, that little small dip in one of them, I would, since is the like sewer filled with like water and stuff, and like, are there like light bulbs or whatever?
Yes, so every once in a while there's a light, and the sewers definitely has water in the middle.
Okay. So then I would tell Trickmon, I'd be like, all right, new plan actually. What we're gonna do is we're going to have you pop that light bulb, give us the darkness, um, and when you do that, I'm going to, use as much as I can force to like splash the water up, and so from Ogremon's distance, he'll see a light bulb flicker out and then the water splash up, and that is when I will dip into one of the small ways. So even if he does find me eventually, it'll take him a minute, being all
Mm,
tricksy.
got you. So you said you're gonna dive into the water and then take the pathway?
So essentially, like stomp and make the water like come up when the light bulb breaks. So that way, it's just like a little bit of a mist. It's not gonna like be enough to fully obscure the vision, but since their distance is farther away, I assume it would actually help a little bit. Um,
Hmm, gotcha.
so that's my main goal. It's not like actually diving in, like just
Mm-hmm.
making a big enough splash to cause like a mist with the light bulb exploding and kind of hopefully use it
Gotcha.
as cover.
All right, and what I'll actually take from you, well, good question here. When you take the smaller pathway, are you going to still be booking it, or are you going to try to somewhat stealthily take this path?
Um, so that's I'm not the best at stealth because Valentine is flashy. Um, uh, but I could try the stealth approach because at least then if I do lose him, I won't have to like take off. But then if he does find me, at least it'll be harder for him to reach me if I have to book it down the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try the stealth approach. I'm not too keen on my chances, but I am technically trying to hide from him, so it makes sense. So would you like me to make a stealth roll or?
Oh, yes.
All right. Any bonuses from stunting or no?
Um, I'll give you a +1. There may be other bonuses, but
Okay. Well, then I'll just add a +1 into my
yep.
calculation. I'm gonna
Oh,
re-roll that.
okay.
I have so much inspiration. I need to use them. I don't think I can spend another point on the same check. I don't think I'm allowed to do that.
Um,
If I am allowed to do that, I will, but I don't think I can.
you know what? If you'd like to use it up now, I will allow you to. And if you roll worse, well, that's unfortunate.
Okay. Oh, baby! Thank you! Thank
Okay.
you! It just took 3 points of inspiration. Well, 2 technically, but
So, as you dive into the other pathway and start to go silent, you do see the big Ogremon jetting by, and he seems to be giving chase to the direction he thought you'd go in. So, now I'd actually take a survival check from you.
Okay. Survival check. Any bonuses or just the standard roll?
Just the standard survival roll.
Okay, sounds good. Plus that. And trunk. That's a 15. That's not too bad.
Um, so you start navigating the sewers, and it would be impossible for you to find where the others went. But eventually, you come to a door,
Okay.
and what that door is and whatnot, we'll come back to that. I'm going to drag you into the other session, but
I'm not there. I gotcha.
you are not there.
Oh, 10-10.
All right. Let's revive everybody except Valentine. And oh, what?
Rip
Oh,
Valentine.
rip Valentine. So, um, very very important. Did you guys discuss anything while I was away? Maybe you've figured out something you'd like to talk to the clown about as he's peeking through his little finger peek hole?
I think a little birdie wants to introduce himself.
Oh, what? Um, what? Okay. Well, anyway,
You missed it.
I missed it. Okay. Okay. Or wait, hold on. So anyway, um, as the clown is watching through his peephole, oh, oh no. Okay, I'll tell you what. This is my last offer for you to hand over your Digivices for the clown. Honestly, if you take much longer, I don't think things are gonna go very well for him. And he starts looking through the little peephole he's making and chuckling a little bit.
While he's looking, I would like to roll for stealth.
You'd like to roll for stealth?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Making my way downtown, walking fast. I'm a seagull. Go fuck yourself.
Granted, um, well, this sort of needs to be a group decision, but is anyone willing to simply hand over their Digivices to the clown while this is going on?
Well, the reason why I roll for stealth is I want to try to sneak around him while he's still looking at the people. And
Oh,
then I would like to roll for perception if I can find that way to escape.
um, I see that the rules weren't updating for me for a moment. You said the reason you rolled for stealth is to see if you could find a way to escape?
Sneak out. Yeah. No, like to like sneak around him
Uh,
and then find the way to escape as I roll for perception too.
I see. It would be very hard to sneak around in this setting. I suppose you could simply get up from the table and kind of like wander around and but what was it you were wanting to do by sneaking around?
Find the way to escape.
To escape? Well, escape wouldn't be that hard. He's not necessarily keeping you there that you know of. It does seem. Oh, um, by the way, he also mentions that if you would like, the food is now perfectly fine to eat. He's had his laughs over the matter, but, aside from that, yes, if you'd like to escape, feel free.
You
Uh,
need us to save this world, correct?
I believe so.
We can't do it without the Digivice and our teammate.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's true. And worst case scenario, you end up all failing spectacularly. I'd be fine with that as well.
If the world ends, there's no one else to play pranks on.
Oh, I never said this world was ending. It's just less fun to be evil in an evil world, you know? Come on, what is there to lose? You even know what those things do?
So far, they've kept us alive.
And right now they're killing your friend.
Now, he has his. It'll keep him alive, too. And
And
you
the
did say only one of us could save the world. Maybe he's the one.
well, you have a point, but looking through his people, okay, if you insist. Um, so with that, it seems nobody is going to offer up their Digivices for poor Valentine.
You can have mine.
Oh, why, thank you very much, Ravi. Anyone else? No? Um, so taking Revi's Digivice, I suppose that'll do. It's not like he was actually in trouble anyway. And with that, he'd throw a handkerchief and a magical door would appear, and Valentine would end up walking through it.
Oh, I did it!
You're alive!
You're useless.
Uh,
You're a
I was
bitch.
actually at a door, so I was about to come through. I was just catching my breath. I escaped from the Ogremon a couple minutes ago. What do you mean useless?
Oh, Valentine, I should mention that it seemed as if where that door led changed as you were opening it.
He's got magic door hacks on.
Oh, well, if it isn't the other one. I'll be honest, I tried my best to help you out, but it seemed like none of your friends wanted to. Oh, except for the girl there. She was willing to save you.
What did it cost?
Oh, just
My
this little.
Digivice.
I will walk over to Revi, and I will hand her mine.
All right.
It's only fair that if it's my life that needed to be saving, that I should be the one, not you. Of course, then why are you listening to Piedmon? He's one of the, well, at least previously, one of the most notorious Digimon cards in existence.
Oh, no,
Oh.
he's a self-proclaimed villain. He's kind of been toying with us the whole time.
Oh, right you are. So, speaking of toying with you, helping you, um, you should all be getting to the temple, correct? That is where you were all headed, I believe.
I believe.
Atlas bumps his head under the table.
Oh, hello, scared man. My name is Valentine.
So,
I'll offer a hand to you.
Still as useless as ever.
um,
I don't take it.
you're just hiding under the table?
Yep, I'm hiding under the table. Mushmon's like standing on the chair, just like silently grabbing like a handful of food, staring at Paimon.
What?
Oh, yes, Valentine, if you would like some food, I'm sure there's plenty for everybody. Um,
It is all covered in rat's blood now, is it not?
some of it.
My
So-
favorite, rat's blood. Just kidding.
So, as Piedmon has asked, you are all heading to the temple, correct?
I believe that is where we were mentioned to go to.
Well, one way said certain death, the other way turned into villainous extortion.
You
I
say,
told you all we should have went the other way.
oh, you say extortion. I was merely helping. At any rate, I can help you on your way if you're going to the temple. They're not
Is it
very...
going to cost us another Digivice?
No, one will do. So, the door that he made, he'll throw a rag over and pull it off, and it honestly seems... It's questionable why he did it because the door itself didn't really change, but he'll open it up. This door will take you to the temple, if you'd like.
Mr. Piedmon, do you like being called Mr. Piedmon or just Piedmon?
Well, Mr. Cruar or Valentine, I'm surprised you know my name.
Well, see, I actually played you in like one of my. That's not important. I cannot be distracted by trading cards. So, you are into making deals, correct?
Hmm.
It's more fun than doing nothing.
It was a former hobby of mine, I suppose.
So, can we instead? And he'll take his Digivice back from Revi, and he'll be like, "Could you instead take mine and give Revi hers back? I doubt mine would help her at all. You're still getting a Digivice, but it should be mine since it was my life you saved. I think that's only fair."
And what would I gain from this deal?
You would still have a Digivice. You would just swap hers out for mine. Why is hers any better than mine?
Because hers was used for you. That's
And
exactly
mine's
why.
being used for her. Same thing.
No. What?
I mean,
do you
yeah.
do you perhaps feel guilty?
Guilty? I just don't think that we should, you know, have to give up our Digivices if you're just bored. I mean, I do feel bad, yes.
I'll tell you what. If you'd like, I'll take half of your Digivice and half of hers.
That doesn't seem like a good deal at all.
All I'm saying is I'm not necessarily interested in your Digivice. I was after the four of theirs. Now, let's not get too distracted. Would you like this one-way portal to the temple?
And it wouldn't cost us anything.
Not at all.
Then can we shake on it?
Sure.
Can I roll for decipher intent on the door?
You know, it's probably easier than deciphering Piedmon's intent, but it's a door.
Okay, well, I'm one then. Sorry. I just want to.
I would like to cast Identify Door. It's a door. That's the best.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Identify a door as a wall.
I love the attempt to try to decipher the door's intent. That was good. That was thinking outside of the box.
Well, the door might be emanating something like,
Yeah, it might just be like screaming, death, death. But does he accept the handshake?
he does accept the handshake.
Okay. I would then like to I would like to roll manipulate to steal her Digivice back without him noticing.
My man's
While
got
shaking
sleight
his
of
hand.
This man.
You
When
know,
you're talking about a trading card player, he knows sleight of hand.
this is in your favor, but I'll even take a perform. However, you are trying to sleight of hand against Piedmon, but that's fine. And Elise, feel free to try to decipher intent on Piedmon as well.
All right. So, would that technically qualify for my minor aspect of the +2 bonus?
That's the card player, correct?
Yes.
Hmm, I'll allow it. Although that does raise questionable things about Valentine.
Hey, his record, he is not undefeated, thank you. Take with that what you will. All right. Do I get any bonuses other than my aspect or no?
No.
All right. +2. Let's go, baby.
I I actually have an idea, but I'll do it later after I know the result of my roll.
Do I stick with the 22 guys or do I go for something better?
Do you still have more inspiration?
1 inspiration left. I had 4 going into the session, and I spent 3.
I mean, your rolls average pretty mid, so it's up to you.
Do you think it's worth it?
You're a human about to slide a mega level Piedmon, but I mean, say you get the Digivice, what's stopping him from turning around in 2 minutes and just portaling to us to take it back, or our heads?
I think he
Also,
would probably find it more interesting that I did that to him. I don't think he would try to kill us. I think he would watch us and then maybe try to take it back later. Because that was a part of the deal and just like takes it.
Oh dear God, he's gonna be blasting off again.
I don't know.
also,
So
also,
stay with the 22 or reroll? What do you guys think? Also good decipher intent roll there, at least.
yes, it is pretty decent. But, how do you plan on stealing it with the handshake? Like, what's your sleight of hand? Give me a stunt with it. Like, tell me what you're doing.
So, as I, go up to shake, I'll accidentally bump one of my card cases, and cards will like fly out as just kind of as a distract as we're shaking. And he'll probably look at it, I'll look at it, and then I will slowly reach around with the other hand, gripping tough, and I'll be like, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Piedmon," as the cards explode up, and I will pocket the Digivice and my pants, and then I will start, cleaning it up, and I'll be like, "Is this one yours? Because I know you have some." And I would then go to pick up all my poor cards that exploded.
Um, so we'll start with Elise. He seems very genuine and following through with what he said. He even shook on it. You do understand that your motives align. The only thing is, he does seem like a trickster, so, the portal might be somewhat of a prank, but you don't think that he'd try to hinder you too much. So, I'll get back to your thoughts on that, as that will directly influence what happens next. But Valentine, as for your sleight of hand roll, it does seem like you managed to steal the Digivice back and pocket it. And as you're picking up your cards, he does grab one and hand it back to you, and it is it's a Piedmon card, but it seems like the art has changed and gotten much better.
Oh, like evil or
It's a rarity upgrade.
so like because you say batter? Is that what you said?
No, better.
Oh, wow! This alt art is super cool. I don't remember having this.
So, Elise, what are your thoughts?
But I will take it.
Mhm. Um,
Wait, was Val already able to get the Digivice back?
what was that?
Was Val able to get the Digivice back?
Seems like it.
Mm. I'll probably just turn to Isaac and ask him if he trusts Tide One or anything, and if we should go through that door.
Yeah, I haven't trusted anything that's happened to us so far, but he hasn't attacked us yet.
Um, Revy, what are your thoughts on all of this?
I mean, I wouldn't have noticed that, I don't think. So, I'm leaving.
You're leaving, or are you heading through the door
I'm
to
heading right through the door. I don't care about this.
the...
Get me out of here.
Valentine will
Let this
follow.
shit out.
You said Valentine will follow, so Revy and Valentine have headed through the door.
Mushron went, grabbed Atlas from under the table, and is going towards the door as well.
So important piece of information as Revy and Valentine head through the door. Isaac, Elise, and Atlas, you wouldn't need a perception roll to hear what sounds like a sharp yelp coming from not very far away. And it sounds like some creature is being attacked, which, as Piedmont has stated, is pretty blasé for this world. It isn't necessarily your problem. And your friends just went through some magical portal door to get where they want to be. Do you all follow them through the portal door?
Yeah, Mushron's grabbed Atlas from under the table and is dragging him towards the door.
Isaac?
Isaac's going to look towards the Yelp and pause, and then shake his head, thinking that he's overextended enough so far, and just turn towards the door.
It does sound like... Well, it sounds very similar to a dog. So, if that influences your decision at all.
You motherfucker.
And Elise, what are your thoughts? There's this portal that some of your friends have headed through, but there's this very pained noise that sounds like it's coming from a somewhat cute animal that's probably under attack.
I'll definitely feel worried, and then I'll turn to Luna One and ask her, "What do you think? Should we go?"
It sounds like someone's in trouble, but Magna Andromon and everyone told us to go to the temple. But helping? Oh, I don't know at this point.
So Lunamon
I
doesn't. So Lunamon doesn't know. Um, what's your gut telling you, Elise?
Well, since I think someone is in trouble, I'll just grab Luna One and whatever. Let's just go and help whoever that is.
Isaac, you see Elise and Lunamon dart towards the noise.
Isaac's gonna freeze and spin around to follow, shaking his head again. Strength in numbers, it's better than leaving her alone.
All right, and Atlas, Mushmon is dragging you to the door. Has he dragged you through the door yet?
Probably not. He's at the door, but hearing Elise and Isaac talking. He's now stuck in who should I follow?
So, oh, by the way, Valentine, did you eat the food?
Nope, I did not.
All
Valentine
right.
saw the food. It was like, it's Piedmon. Mm,
That's completely fair. I will say that anyone who partook in the food gains 1 point. However, your Digimon are all fully healed as well. But Atlas, which direction are you going in? Or rather, which direction is Mushmon forcing you to go in?
Mushmon, like I said, like he's stuck debating. Like there's two that doesn't want to go through the door, and two that are going through the door. But like Mushmon wants to help like both sides and to help Atlas get more friends. So like he doesn't know what to do. So like since he's already like at the door, but he's not going through it, he's thinking maybe it's better to just stay with Isaac and Elise.
Gotcha. And Piedmon will look to Atlas and is like, poor little chap. Just can't really do much of anything on his own, can he? Well, to the walking mushroom, I will let you know that you have roughly 3 seconds before this door disappears, and less time before I disappear. And I do wish the 6 of you the best on your journeys. I'm sure we'll meet again. And Piedmon will vanish, so Mushmon is given 3 seconds to force Atlas through the door if he would be so inclined before it vanishes.
Atlas and Mushmon are not going in.
Gotcha. So you guys follow Isaac, Elise, and whatnot?
Yeah.
So as the three of you turn the corner, you end up seeing, well, it would be a cute puppy. However, the sight before you is actually fairly horrific, as you see what looks like a cute dog with pink ears being mauled by like 5 angry little rodents on drugs. And you actually see like some of its one of its eyes has been ripped out, but what do you do for this dog? It doesn't seem as if it's about to die just yet. I will say that. It's not on death's door just yet, but it is, if this continues, it certainly will be. Isaac?
I, I don't know. Last time I ran into 5 things at once, I nearly died.
Elise? Elise? So you see the dog being mauled by cracked out rodents.
Well, at first, I definitely can see it because like it's definitely gross. But I'll be like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
Nonimon, do something about it. I don't want the dog to die.
So, do you have Lunamon attack the rodents?
Yes, with a tear shot.
Gotcha. And Atlas, when you come on the site, what do you and Mushmon do?
Atlas is gonna throw up, and Mushmon's gonna go like, okay, you should have eaten something at least. And then he throws a mushroom at the cracked out rodents.
Gotcha. So, actually, without even necessarily having you guys roll accuracy, these rodents scatter as more people show up, screaming, "No, there's more of them! What? How is it fair for equal numbers! As they run away.
Do they leave?
Yes, they all run away.
I'll probably try to approach the dog and then ask Luna one if she can like help it feel better.
So you're going to have Lunamon recover it.
Yes.
Gotcha. I'll say, like, through her abilities, you manage to tone down the bleeding, but you can't necessarily fix the damage that has been done to it.
Mm.
That's not to say it's unfixable, just not within your scope of abilities at the moment. I'd say that the only person who could really help at the moment would be Atlas.
Yeah, Atlas is currently like hunched over, like trying to catch some breath and like vomiting
Oh,
again. Like he couldn't handle what the little pink-eared dog looked like,
Mm-hmm.
or the cracked out rodents. He couldn't handle it, so like
That's
he just
that's fair.
emptied his entire immune system.
Um,
But like Mushmon's like, "Hey, Atlas!" And he grabs his he pulls his backpack down to like his height, and he starts rummaging through it. And it's like I know you have something in here. And he pulls out like the med kit, and he runs to Elise, and he's like, "Could this help?"
yeah, it will. I'll take it.
um, Elise, if you plan on using the med kit, I'll take a knowledge survival roll from you.
Wait, wait.
And while all of this is going on, getting back to Revi and Valentine, um, for you two, you come out to a very dark looking world, and you see this very demonic looking, like, castle structure in the background. And it doesn't take more than a moment for two demon-like creatures to come flying up to you. What are you doing here?
Uh, we were teleported here from Piedmon. He was trying to get us to the temple.
Your Piedmon servants?
Yes.
And that answer, like, they both look at each other and nod. Then you must die.
I'm not actually his servant. I was scared you were gonna attack us. Please.
Revi and Valentine roll initiative, and Elise, you do manage to get the bleeding to slow down.
I will be like, Reva, you're gonna need this, and I'll toss her her Digivice that I pickpocketed from Piedmon.
And as you do, you realize that you pickpocketed a stone.
Oh,
By the
I
way,
got
Revi
stone.
takes 1d6 damage on impact.
I suppose
she has a weapon now.
I suppose I should mention that, like, all of your Digivices are still cracked. They haven't been, like, useful to you guys yet.
When did they crack?
In the first session.
Whenever they saved us.
Yeah.
And initiative is the one for is the total, so it's over here. So I rolled that much. Well, I thought that I would have succeeded, but Piedmon is a trickster. as he has sent us to the wrong location.
Has he, though?
21 for my initiative.
21?
Yeah.
Do. And... Whew. Okay. Da. Oh. Yes, I should have actually thought of that myself. Next time. But, so with the dinner over, back to... So as you're about to get into this fight, Elise, Isaac, Atlas, you've bandaged up this dog. What are you doing?
At this point, Isaac's going to run over and toss his jacket over it to wrap it up and carry it.
Gotcha.
Atlas is currently repacking his backpack after the mess Mushmon did. And Mushmon is helping him because he feels bad that he had to do all of this work.
I'll probably try to check on the dog if it's like conscious at least.
Actually, it's fallen unconscious. It's not dead, but shock, exhaustion, pain have all caught up to it. So, in a way, it's lucky it's unconscious.
Okay, then I'll probably try to look around to see if there's any other impending danger that I need to look out for.
um, you can give me a perception check if you'd like. Now, is the plan for the three of you to head back or head forward?
You did imply it was a dead end earlier, did you not? The only forward is certain death path.
No. So, there is the certain death path. However, when you turned the corner, you could have kept going. However, there was that divot in the mountain that had the table and stuff. However, you can continue to just keep going.
I guess I'll continue going down the food and talk path then.
Okay. And Elise, was that your... Yes, that was your perception roll, right? So, you don't notice any danger, but as you guys are continuing down this path with the poor little puppy, Elise, you do end up noticing, I suppose, something odd. Which is that on this path, obviously, to your right is the mountain, but to your left is open ground where you could fall into a deep valley. And as the sand blows on the mountainside, you do notice at some point that the sand seems to be resting on air.
I'll probably try to move closer to it just to check what it is, but not too close, just enough.
So, like, to like feel the sand that seems to be levitating.
Or if I can like find a rock somewhere, I'll try to throw something at it.
As you do, the rock actually skips, and it seems like there might be an invisible structure there. And in the distance, you do see another mountain with the temple on it. But we will come back to that. You also see another pathway that takes you to the temple further down that seems to be rope bridges. But anyway,
That's reassuring.
Revy and Valentine. So for you guys, you see the demons reach out towards each other, and they seem to place shields on each other. Well, one places a shield on one, and one seems to give the other some kind of buff, and they both point at Dorumon, but that seems to be all they did. Now, Valentine, what will you be doing on your turn?
All right, for my turn, I will kind of, of course, fall back. Valentine will take defensive stance and will, tell Trickmon to go ahead and deal the cards to Dorumon. Um, as Trickmon will then, all right, you got it, boss. And he'll shuffle up the card and he'll deal one to Dorumon. Uh, so it is a haste. Technically, it's a burst 4, so that's why I would move back to only include Dorumon because I don't think it'll affect me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll go ahead and roll that because I got to roll accuracy, right?
Yes,
So
and you're trying to affect Dorumon, correct?
correct. And since I
Ri-
ordered to do so, that means that I get um, I think it was a bonus to because it's different in combat because that wasn't the rules. If
yes,
you tell them to do something. Um, so I
they
think I get to add
your charisma.
to how many dice I get to roll
Yes.
because it's just okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool.
And
That is a lot of dice.
which might be kind of unfortunate because Revi, you need to now roll Dorumon's health. And how positive effects work and why it's fairly awkward is you do need at least one hit on the accuracy check to apply the status effect. However, for the health check, you need to hit so many above the accuracy roll to actually get extended duration.
What is for the health check? How much do I roll?
So under Dorumon's health, which will be one of his basic stats along with accuracy and all of that, you just roll that many dice.
So he has 9 health, so 9 dice?
Yes.
And D6?
Yep. Do.
That's 4 hits actually.
Nice.
Gets
So,
a bonus duration.
yep, 2 turns.
And all that does is it gives Dorumon an extra minor action as a heads up, Revi.
Oh, so extra attack basically.
Mhm.
Although it could be used for something else.
Well, yeah, depending. And then I think that's my whole turn. So
Alright.
So Dorumon is up. Ba, ba, ba. Oof. And what would you like Dorumon to do?
Let's
And
use metal cannon. It
for
will
what
just
it
attack.
Okay, and for what it's worth, Revi, you actually do recognize these creatures once again from the first session as the creature that came barreling out of the closet at you.
Oh, this is okay. This time I'm gonna get my revenge on the creepy. So yeah, I'll attack it with a metal cannon. It has a stun to it.
All right.
That's 3 hits. Nice.
Yeah, that's not bad. Your damage is 2, correct?
The damage is now 4.
Now 4. Not bad. So the metal cannon does kind of. Are you attacking the one with the shield or the one that seemed to get buffed a little bit?
I'm attacking the one that got buffed.
So the ball does end up like bumping into him. It seems like it. Seems like he felt it a little bit. And what else do you have Dorumon do?
It
What
is a
else?
stun though. Did it stun or nah?
No. So it has to.
Oh god.
Yeah, yeah. So it has to deal so much. Um. So
Yeah, it has to
another
deal
attack?
2 damage over armor for it to afflict stun.
Oof. How much damage did I deal in general to it?
not enough to stun,
Alright, that's
but
not good.
but a hit's a hit and deals at least 1 damage. Now,
Uh,
now, what are you thinking? Because you and Dorumon still have like a lot of actions, especially since Dorumon got hasted. Do you guys want to run, look around, try to talk, fight these things more? The world's your playground.
mm, I want to talk to them, so I'll yell at them that we are not the minions of that useless clown.
So, you tell them that you're not the minions of that. Um, they seem to just think that you're lying.
I look around and check out our surrounding.
What will? All right, give me a survival check, actually. Not bad. So, as you look around, you see the dark castle in the background. You see the dark plateau that you're on. However, you also notice some other things, specifically when you look out past the plateau. It doesn't seem like you've moved too far from your original location because you recognize some of the scenery. However, it does seem like the scenery you're looking at is darker than before.
I'll turn to Valentine and yell him, I don't think we're gonna win this fight. I think we should make a break for it in that direction.
All right, sounds good to me.
So, going back to Isaac, Atlas, and Elise. Uh, Elise, you continue to study the bridge. Do you tell the others about it? Well, I say bridge, but who knows? Invisible something.
Well, yeah, I definitely try to tug on Isaac's arm and like, hey, look, there's something weird in here, and it seems to lead towards the temple. And I try to gather more rocks, like to just try to throw things at it to see how big it is, maybe.
Gotcha. So, well, specifically as you throw rocks at it, you do notice something interesting about this invisible bridge, particularly that the rocks, as they go in a straight line, do tend to fall at certain points.
So I turn to Isaac and Atlas and ask them, so do you think we should try on this invisible bridge or do we go to the other one?
Isaac will stare at the bridge for a minute, and then he'll kind of twitch like he just had a bit of a light bulb realization, and he will call out to Aster. You're a computer thing, right? Can you see this bridge thing?
Floating around you guys. Well, no, I think it's invisible. But I might be able to help you find out the correct path to take. It does seem like just walking forward might lead to, what was it that sign said? Certain death?
Well, that would be helpful, yes.
And as you guys are talking about this, you can actually hear what sounds like fighting coming from the temple.
Faster helping would be nicer, yes?
Atlas, do you have any input?
Was it just staring at the bridge? Like he sat down like Indian style and just staring like at the bridge, trying to figure out like if the bridge is invisible, does it have a curve? If so, which way is it going? He's trying to like mentally create a bridge in his head to see if it works. But also he's just looking at the bridge like, what if this bridge is the certain death path and like it's just an empty bridge where you could just clearly walk through it and then fall to your death. And he's like just mentally thinking, it's like, what if every path now is a certain death? I don't know. Like, gonna be? Is it gonna be like a nice little forest and then a tree stabs you, or is it gonna be like you're walking in a cave and there's a cave in? Like, he starts mentally racking ideas of like how he could die. And Mushmon's just there, like staring at him, seeing like his process going through his head. And Mushmon just like looks at like Elise and Isaac, and he goes like, "I'm not sure what he's thinking," and he's pointing at Atlas. It was like he probably believes it's not the best bridge.
So Mushmon isn't too happy with the bridge?
No, Mushmon doesn't like. He just said what he thinks Atlas is thinking. Like
Ah,
he's just
um,
saying like Atlas thinks the bridge is not a good idea. But like Mushmon's just there, and he's like if we follow them, friends, and like that's pretty much what Mushmon's trying to do for Atlas.
mm,
So he's trying to get like more interactions for Atlas to jump in, but like Mushmon can't really try and do it. So he's trying to make like small threads.
gotcha. So, Aster, watching everything happen. Now, I can't touch this bridge. However, since you can see me and you can see the things that I make, I might be able to. And he kind of waves his hand to where the sand is settled on the bridge. I suppose you, I can show you the path that we've found out is safe. So when Lise threw some rocks, the spots where the rocks hit the bridge would begin to glow for you guys.
Well, that's a start. Can any, yeah. At least, can you throw some more stuff across the area? Is there a spot of sand around here? Kinda got my hands full with the dog.
Sure. I say it as I try to gather more rocks and like keep throwing at it.
Yeah, so slowly but surely the bridge begins to light up. Uh, they're, watching this though, Aster begins to think to himself, Perhaps you should grab a twig or two. This seems to be a very large bridge. I'm not sure that you'll be able to roll rocks along it effectively.
I do as Aster told, and then try to find twigs. And
Mushmon's like currently like running back and forth collecting like rocks and other stuff just to make like a path. Like constantly just going back and forth from like somewhere and coming back with like a rock or a few rocks, or he's just picking up stuff.
So as you roll rocks and whatnot, like you obviously have to get on the bridge to continue to light up the bridge. Like you can't stay at the on the mountain the entire time because this is a pretty long bridge, to be honest. But slowly but surely you light up the pathway on the bridge and make your way across. And the sounds of battle continue. Now, top of the round once again. Food for... Actually, we'll continue with the bridge as the sounds of battle continue. Eventually, you make your way to what seems to be an invisible wall.
Can we check to go around it?
It seems that going around this invisible wall is definitely not a possibility. Would you like to try to force your way through it?
I'll probably try to tap on it to check how big it is. Wide also.
As you tap it, you do see like a small ripple extend from where you tapped, and it does seem very large. Uh, Now, Atlas, how are you and Mushman taking the bridge and the wall?
Well, like Mushmon just like goes to the bridge and starts feeling the wall like how Atlas did it the first time, trying to see like maybe there's like something hidden.
Now, remind me, Mushman, is he a data or is he a virus type?
He is, I think he's a virus.
Gotcha. Take 2 wound boxes.
Okay.
Yeah. As
Mushmon
as Mush
ouches and
as
backs away.
yeah, as Mushman touches the wall, he is hit with a very strong response. Now, Coronamon and Lunamon, I believe, are vaccines, though, right?
Lunaman is a data type.
Data?
Yeah.
Is Coronamon also data?
Coronamon is vaccine.
So Coronamon actually wouldn't have any problem with this wall at all. Now,
Well, what's on the other side, little buddy?
still an invisible bridge. Hopefully he's not just running forward.
Well, it might have been like an optical illusion barrier thing, or as soon as you crossed it, it was a world of green and pretty.
Now, I will let you all converse for just a moment. I will be right back. Discuss your situations.
Mm.
Well, we
Is it-
could have Aster follow Coronamon to light up the rest of the path, but we don't know if Elise and Lunamon can get through, and Mushmon definitely can't. Not alive, at least.
Do you think we should like try to take it down? Try to attack it or something?
I mean, anything could happen.
In the
It
interest of reaching the temple and saving the dog, I think Isaac and Chronomon would have to go through alone, but going back might be a lot of time. And rope bridge, I swear to God, your 50-pound backpack's gonna cave in them boards.
don't worry, that backpack's like a bottomless pit.
Even worse. Bottomless pit as you go into a bottomless pit. Oof.
Yeah, but
All you
it's
hear
like
is
putting a
Zuko's words. That's rough, buddy.
yeah, but it's like putting a bag of holding in a bag of holding. It just like implodes on itself and everything blows out.
So, speaking of bottomless pit, does anyone look over the bridge down into the abyss?
Atlas does, just like out of like, habit, he just like looks down and just goes back and like starts contemplating like what's really under the bridge.
Atlas looks into the abyss.
Yes, and then he regrets it like immediately, as
Oh,
always.
Lunamon may too.
Lunamon might too?
But not Elise.
Okay. So Atlas and Elise, give me perception checks. Now we're going to return to Valentine and Revi. Revi, give me 2 dodge rolls. However, on the second one, subtract 3.
Okay.
Do 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 do. No, no, no.
Which
Dodge
one?
rolls for Dorumon.
Oh,
So,
all right. Yeah, 3d6 plus 1. Oh, no. Okay, I understand what you're talking
yep. Is his dodge a 1? I haven't
about. It would be
checked.
2d6, correct? Because his dodge is 2.
Yes, 2d6. And the second one will be 1d6, so, that -3 actually isn't that bad.
Again, I don't think anyone has a dodge over a 4. We're rookies.
Um, Atlas, was that your perception check, by the way?
Wait, so my roll will be
Yes.
1d6 anyways?
Yes. Even with a -3, you always roll at least 1. Okay, so Dorumon gets walloped for 10 damage, and then 11. Subtract his armor.
He has 8 armor, so...
So 2 damage and then 3 damage.
Yep.
And as these creatures beat into Dorumon, suddenly their attention shifts and they start to fly off somewhere else. So as they vanish, Revi, Valentine, what are you thinking?
I'll run up to Doraemon and check on him. It's for Doraemon.
I would watch over her back and I'd be like, we should probably move now while they're, you know, distracted. Do we know where they're going?
Um, you see them heading out towards, flying out over the plateau. It seems like they're flying over the, into the sky. But do you pay attention to where they're flying?
I mean, I'm watching them while Revy checks on Doberman because I don't want them to suddenly attack us again.
Gotcha. So, as you're watching them fly off, you end up seeing what looks like 6 more demons standing on what looks like thin air, honestly. And it seems like they're flying towards these demon creatures.
Okay, it looks like they're distracted with another group, maybe some sort of territorial thing, but we need to decide if we're going to go into this spooky place or go away from it.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Sounds good.
So, by get out of here, are you going to head for the rope bridge that you can see, or are you going to head towards the demonic-looking castle?
I think whenever Revy was saying, get the hell out of here, we were not going towards the castle, but I'll leave it up to Revy.
Revy?
Yeah, I think we need to stay away from that castle, so...
Gotcha. So, back to the other group. What did you decide to do? Did you decide to have Coronamon continue on the path, or...
Can the humans go through the wall?
How much effort are you putting into it?
Well, I'm carrying a dying dog, so probably not very much because I simply can't.
Probably not. However, soon soon 2 angelic figures fly up to you and scream, "Halt! What are you doing here?"
We were told to seek shelter at the temple. This dog is dying.
And they look at the dog. Ugh. Disgusting. But then they glance over at the Mushman. You were told by who?
The
We were
priest thing in the village.
The priest? No, he would never invite someone like that here. Their eyes still fixated on Mushman.
Hey, that's not nice. Atlas has feelings too.
Hashtag always bully Atlas.
And what's Coronamon doing? Is he still with you, or is he past the barrier?
I mean, he was on just the other side, so I guess he would have just come back at this point.
Gotcha. So one of the angels will point at the group. Stay on your side of the barrier, and you'll be fine. And he'll turn around, and both of them will begin to fly away. However, the bridge that you're on will begin to light up and fully light up as it actually takes on form. And soon the priest that invited you will begin walking off of the plateau towards your group.
As the other two start to fly away, Isaac will call, "Have you seen our friends? They were supposed to be at the temple."
And soon they'll stop. Are you friends with Piedmon's minions?
What? No, that man tried to rob us.
Then no, we haven't seen your friends. We still need to take care of those, though. And they'll fly away.
I tried to call to them and say, wait, can I ask what do they look like? Those minions that you were talking about?
And they'll look at you. You can't really see the confusion on their face too much as their face is partially covered. But they'll tell you they're just Edamon. And the priest will laugh and is like, "Oh, don't worry. They don't even know what Edamon are. Some monkey-like creatures, as you would know them, decided to attack the temple recently. We're still not exactly sure how they got through our barriers, but it's okay. We're dealing with them. This place... well, telling you it's safe at this point would seem a little underwhelming, I'm sure, but I can assure you this doesn't happen often."
I don't know anything about monkeys, but while Piedmon was robbing us, he was supposed to have teleported our friends to your temple.
He'd rub his chin. I wonder. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. Would you like to go see if these are your friends?
I would like to see my friends, yes.
And, he'd start walking back, but, Revi and Atlas, give me athletics checks as you guys hop on those rope
Valentine?
bridges. Yes, Valentine.
All right, 3d6 plus 6. 14.
Well, Revi, you are booking it across that rope bridge, even though Valentine is making it very difficult for you.
I'll drag him along with me. I can't leave him behind. He did follow me, so
Valentine, are you trying to stay on the lookout or are you booking it?
No, I'll book it, especially when if Revi comes over and starts like pulling me. Oh, I guess I shouldn't be distracted when we might have to cross a bridge.
So, as you guys are running across this bridge, actually, I'll take a dodge roll from both of you, and by dodge roll I mean the human stat, not the combat dodge.
so for that one, it's 8d6, correct?
It is 3d6 plus whatever Revi's dodge is. So, yes. You both run full blast into an invisible wall that seems to honestly hurt as you touch it and knocks you both back, but luckily you're able to hang on enough to not fall off the rope bridges.
Great, more issues.
Yes, that wall does not seem to like you guys at all right now.
when they crashed into the wall, would it have rippled towards our group or made a noise at all?
Yes, you guys would actually be walking towards that direction, and you would see a ripple. Now, Revy Valentine, what are you doing though with this invisible wall?
And get up and walk over to it. And you said it hurts when we touch it, correct?
Yes.
I'll pick up some rocks that are around. Wait, I'm on a bridge right now, right?
Yes. You are on a
Okay.
bridge.
Let's see. I'll take the knife out of my boot and stab it to see if it does anything.
The knife actually goes through it pretty okay, but your hand does hit it, and it hurts.
Ouch.
Sorry about that. Sorry about Internet. But I
I can't tell if the echo is intentional.
That was an accident. I'm sorry.
So,
Any ideas, Clown Man?
Yes, Clown Man, huh?
Any ideas, Clown Man? I'm talking to you, Valentine.
Okay, so since my internet cut out, what happened? We made dodge rolls, and
so you both ran into an invisible wall. It was
Ouch.
quite painful, but your dodge rolls are what allowed you to grab onto and steady yourselves on the rope bridge and not fall into the abyss. And Revy tried to stab the wall, but her knife actually went through it. But her hand hit it, and quite painful. It's not quite the same as just hitting something hard. Like, this wall actively hurts.
Well, I think we're just gonna have to push our way through. Because it's either that or go back to the scary castle, which I don't think we want. Hello? Any friendly Digimon? We are here to enter the temple. Please don't attack us and let us through.
Are you screaming that, like, back at the evil castle or forward towards the invisible?
Like towards the wall.
Okay. So, Elise, Atlas, and Isaac, your group, along with the flying angels and the priests, end up walking up to the rope bridge, and on the bridge, you see 4 monkeys with sunglasses on, and you hear one of them shouting, "I'm here to slaughter each and every peaceful Digimon in this entire cursed temple."
But they're waving their hands frantically like they're scared and confused. Are their voices the same?
Well, you say waving their hands, but they're trying to, like, get out of this barrier. And no, their voices aren't quite the same. So,
how about our Digimon? How would they see our Digimon?
They also see them as Edamon, which is kind of funny because that means one of the Edamon is just kind of like perched on top of another one's head.
They don't seem like the most threatening of bunches.
So, Valentine, do you take any notice of the group that's starting to form behind you? Or Revy?
I mean, I was calling out, so I probably don't.
A group? A group of what?
Well, if you turn around, you'd see, at this point, 8 of the devil-like creatures that attacked you that one night, and you'd see one very large creature that bears some semblance to them, but it's wearing a mask and you just see like drool seeping out from beneath its mask. Its limbs much larger and hairier.
Oh my god. Alrighty then. I'd pet Doromon and be like, "Well, I guess this is where we have to fight to survive."
Um so
Mushmon's gonna say to like Atlas, like, well, this is where we're gonna have to survive.
So the priest chuckles a little bit. I think I know what's going on here if Paimon is involved. And he raises his hand to Revy and Valentine, and a light comes out. And as it does, the suits and glasses that you were wearing begin to fade away, and
2d6 only damage.
And Valentine, for you, since you're not looking at the group gathered behind you, you just see the dark world in front of you would become a little bit brighter. But Revy, you would notice that the demons would transform into holy angels and your comrades.
I don't trust Digimon. Dorumon. Let's attack them anyways.
Are you daft, woman?
Oh, Revy, it's our friends.
I mean, we're not friends. I'm just stuck with you guys.
It's the group.
The group that saved your ass how many times?
Are you launching an attack
0.
still?
No, Dorumon would just sit there looking at me. Alright, fine. We won't attack.
So the priest would chuckle at all of your antics. Well, at any rate, I suppose you should all come to the temple. You're probably all very tired at this point. And honestly, no. You're all very tired at this point.
We can rest later. Remember when you healed us back at the village? This dog needs help.
Dog. You poor thing. I'll walk over to him and take the dog out of his arms. Let's take him to safety, please.
Revy.
Revy probably like pushed Isaac off the bridge for the dog.
Oh, that reminds me. Atlas, I know your perception check was awful. Elise, what did Lunamon get for its perception?
Wait.
Way back on the bridge.
It's 14.
14?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so honestly, neither of your checks were that good. So Atlas would just see billowing fog below the bridge. Lunamon would see something dark and what looked to be tentacles, but she couldn't quite make it out and probably stopped looking the second she noticed it.
Atlas looked over with his eyes closed, like he.
Back to the dog. When you mention it, the large priest would grimace a little, staring at it, but let out a sigh and tell the two angels to take care of it, and one would come down to Revy and ask for the dog.
I would notice their reactions. I'd be like, how about you heal it while it's in my arms? I don't really trust you guys at all.
And it would tell you that you don't necessarily have to trust me. However, there is an infirmary inside the temple. If you'd like, you can take it there yourself. But we'd get there faster.
Is the dog dying?
No, it's not dying. It was stabilized by Elise.
I'll be more than happy to walk over there with this creature. Just point the way.
Alright, so then it would shrug and let you know, then you may as well just follow us to the temple. And the two angels would take off ahead of the group as the priest led you inside the temple. Now, as you get inside the temple, the priest turns. Now, here at the temple, we have plenty of amenities. Patamon, he would call out as a tiny little gopher with bat ears would slowly float up. Could you guide this young girl and that to the infirmary? And the little gopher, oh, of course. Before heading out towards down the hall. Revy, I assume you'd follow it.
Yep, and follow it.
And for the rest of you, what could I do for you? You must all be very tired and hungry and whatnot.
Very.
Mushmon just goes out like, yeah, we did a lot. We did a lot to survive, and like we kind of needed a place to rest, possibly some food. I know he needs food. He hasn't eaten. And he points
And
Atlas.
the priest would simply stare at Mushmon for a moment before looking over to Atlas and patting his head. Well, don't worry. You can stay here for as long as you want. Elise? Or Valentine?
Well, first of all, I'm so glad that you are all okay and that we're all here. It just took us forever. Um, and, I'll go through and I was like, I am Valentine. It is nice to meet you all. Because we have yet to actually converse.
Um, and as you're all about to start introductions, a small robotic-like creature who isn't that pleasant on the eyes, honestly, because of some cracks here and there, ends up running up to you all. You all have them, don't you? Don't you? And does anyone respond to the energetic creature?
Do you mean like this? And I'll pull out my Digivice.
And as you do, you pull out a rock. No, that's a
Oh,
rock!
he must have stolen my Digivice too.
You know, those things that you humans have.
I'll just put the rock back in my pocket.
A soul?
Like Mushmon starts goes to Atlas and he could like rummage through his like bag again, because Atlas is kind of skeptical. He doesn't know a lot of what's going on,
What
and
do
he
you
pulls
mean?
out like
Atlas loves religious people. But anyway.
he trusts them. He doesn't love them. There's a difference.
That's fair.
But the little mechanical thing, he doesn't knows it. He's not It's not religious. So and it's like it all happened quickly for him. So he's still trying to digest everything in his head. So like Bushman runs to the backpack, pulls out like a bunch of stuff that's he thinks is what he wants, and like shows her like any of these matches what you're talking about, and like in one of them it's like his emergency phone, and there's his digivice and like a bunch of other stuff.
And is Mushman holding this stuff out?
Yeah, he grabbed everything that he thought was what it was interesting, and he came up with like any of these is what you're looking for.
So, the four-legged creature would stare over his hands and then reach out and swipe the digivice. This is so cool. I've never seen anything like it. Let me play with it. I'll give it back.
Mishman looks at Atlas, and he goes like, "I'm not. I don't know. It's his." And he points to Atlas.
And as this is going on, the large priest ends up getting seemingly very upset and looking at the small robotic creature. Did I tell you that you could come out? And you'd see it start to shrink away. Oh, I'm sorry, but can I take this? He'd say, looking to Atlas.
Atlas just stares, sees his digivice, and he just like shakes his head no, and then like slowly offers back his hand out so he could get it back.
And the
Well, it
creature.
depends, little creature. Are you trying to like eat it?
No, I simply want to take it apart and I don't know. This looks broken. Maybe fix it. Make it better.
Well, I
Do
mean,
you
they
need
are
more?
cracked. And I'll just like lean down and I'll be like, you wouldn't hurt us, would you, little man? Little robot thing. Does it look familiar to any cards I've seen?
Does it?
Is it a Hagurumon?
No. Stronger, but smaller.
Can I can I
With
look
I
at it
think
and
it's Adamon.
decipher its intent?
what was that, Elise?
Can I decipher intent?
Sure. Yes, it looks like there's actually no no cards of it yet, I believe. Clear head, visible brain. One of its eyeballs is somewhat shattered and you can see skin underneath. You know.
So it's Datamon.
Yes. But so with that, because it's not that hard to figure it out, it seems very straightforward and honest. However, it also seems very scared at the moment and like it's pushing itself to ask for these digivices, but it feels like it should really leave.
I probably try to turn to Isaac and ask him, do you think we should try to risk it and like let him look at my digivice to see if he can do anything?
I would trust him before the clown.
And as you guys are discussing this, the priest tells him, give it back. And Datamon walks over and hands Atlas the Digivice back. And Datamon is about...
You just hear a faint thank you from Atlas.
And Datamon is about to scamper away, but he does really want the Digivices.
I'll probably try to call for him and say, hey, if you want to experiment on some of the devices, you can do it on mine, but only with one condition.
Yeah?
You only can do it in front of.
Oh. And you'd see its eyes shift to the priest. I'm sorry, but its working area is not available for the public. Honestly, it honestly should have never appeared here in the first place.
Well,
Okay,
he's
say
here
okay.
now, isn't he?
For now, but he has work he should be doing. It's fine, you needn't bother him with your digivices.
Well, I try to turn to the priest and ask, what if I alone go with him? Is that possible?
No, I don't think so. We have our own sets of codes and whatnot here. And that Datamon, he works alone. And you'd see the Datamon start to scamper back away into a very small-looking hole.
Is it like a hole in the wall or what?
It looks like a passageway, but it's much smaller than you'd expect. It's big enough for Datamon to fit into, though. It almost looks like one of those stereotypical mouse holes.
Gotcha.
So nobody lets Datamon borrow their Digivice?
I mean, I would, Aster, but a clown stole mine.
A clown did steal yours.
I'll probably try to ask. I will try to, if I can, roll for persuasion on Magna Angemon.
You
With
can.
using my reader aspect as well. If I can.
You can try to... Well, rather, to save you the roll, how are you trying to persuade him?
Well, first I walk up to him and I'll look at him with pleading eyes and say, "Can't I really go with him? Can't I alone just go with him, please?"
How fixated on Elise is Magna Angemon?
He's fairly fixated. She is stealing his attention.
Isaac's just going to pass his Digivice to Datamon and hold his finger to his lips.
Ah, man.
Yeah, I'll allow that. And as Elise begs, the priest kind of puts his hands up. I'm sorry. While you are exceptionally beautiful, like most of your friends, excluding... He'd look over at Atlas.
Oh, I thought you were gonna look at Valentine. You're like, wait a minute.
Charisma...
Always bully Atlas.
Charisma is related to beauty. Wait, Isaac, what's your charisma?
7.
What's your charisma?
6.
I swear to God, if I have to look it up.
It's a 2. It's my dump stat.
Okay, never mind. He says some of your friends. I cannot make exceptions regarding this. It is not within Serafimon's will.
Yeah,
That-
my fault I was born this way.
You probably were, and I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry. That's rough, buddy.
He'll then tell you all to make yourselves at home. He has he has to go pray at the hall, and that you're free to join him if you'd like. So, what does everyone want to do? Or rather, Ravi, eventually you will reach an infirmary, and while there's doesn't seem to be a lot of tools around, you do see the two angels from earlier, and they tell you to place the dog down on a table.
I'll place that dog down.
And will you stay with it as they work?
Yes.
Gotcha. So, what is everybody else doing?
Atlas is going to pray.
You're going to pray? Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. Isaac?
I'm looking for food.
Didn't you eat Piedmont's food?
Not me. Hello.
Just Mushmon.
Just Mushmon?
I mean, as everyone was like looking at Paimon and talking, Mushmon was like also eating at the same time.
Okay. So, Isaac, you're making your way to the dining room while looking for it. Elise?
Well, I'll probably try to follow Isaac instead.
And before that, I will kind of like, wait, before the rest of us at least leave, we should probably introduce ourselves. We've kind of not had time. And, you know, Valentine would be like, I'm Valentine, and I may have been a little reckless, but it's nice to meet you all. I know Revi's kind of gone, but at least Atlas and Elise and Isaac are here before Isaac takes off. Just so we have names. So I'm not like red hair, blonde hair.
Well, I stop and look at Val and say, hi, nice to meet you. You can call me Elise if you like.
Oh, it's very good to meet you, Elise. And if I remember from your cafe, your name is Isaac, correct?
Yep, that's me.
Thank you again for assisting me in the town. And just, yeah, that was not great.
Well, we're still alive, and that's the important part.
All right, well, I won't keep you. And then I'll like go over to, because you looked like you were on a mission, and I'll like go over to Atlas and I'll just kind of get down on a knee and be like, and your name is Backpack Boy? What is your actual name?
Atlas is just like staring at Valentine because like it's the first time someone actually is like asking for his name since like he met all of you. So he just like slowly like blushes in like shyness and then just like turns away and he goes like I I'm Atlas.
It is nice to meet you, Atlas. Your partner's pretty cool. And I will search through one of my decks and I'll pull out a Mushmon card and I'll hand it to him.
Atlas would like look at it from a corner and like slowly grab it and just look at it and then look at Mushmon, and he goes, "It's cuter."
Actually,
Valentine will look at Mushmon and be like, "No, I think you're cuter." Wink.
Atlas, didn't you say that you followed Valentine's TCG career?
Yeah, secretly. He doesn't like. He's not gonna go blur out like I'm a big fan. He's like he's using Valentine as like an idol for charisma.
Well,
That is what he's good at, not stealing digivices.
that would
Using the
explain
blocks.
that would explain the blushing. Um, so Atlas, you continue on to the hall to pray with the priest?
Yes, and Mushmon is just like following him.
Okay, so you might actually. I'm not sure how Atlas will react to this. However, he's greeted with a probably what would be a somewhat odd sight for him, although, different world, different customs. The priest actually walks to the end of the hall where there is a very large statue of the pink and golden looking knight, and he begins to pray to it. Although, about halfway down the hall, you also see another person seemingly praying to something else at the side of the hall, although you can't make it out from just entering.
Atlas will just look for like a good area and he'll just like kneel down and pray.
So you're just finding a random spot to
Well, like
do.
he's not gonna do it right in front of the door. He's gonna find a area like out of the way of people to pray, and Mushmon's just gonna sit beside him like those like a kid, just staring around.
Gotcha. um. So, Valentine, where are you going? Are you going with Elise and Isaac to find food?
Yeah, and I would just kind of say, Atlas, I'll be at the food place as he was walking away to pray. And then I will, I'll start heading that way. Of course, since, Elise and Isaac took off before then, uh, I'll be there probably after them, but I will be heading that way.
Gotcha. So, as you're walking, Valentine, you actually bump into what looks like a pretty small-looking dog cat thing.
Salamon.
Yes.
You're Salamon.
And you're something man, I'm sure, right?
I am Cardmon.
Cardman.
Wink.
Wait, I know that one. No, you're not.
Nah, I'm Valentine. It's nice to meet you.
Valentine man.
And this
What do
is
you-
Trickmon.
What are you up to, Valentine man?
I was just heading to food. What are you up to, Salamonmon?
It's just Salamon, Valentine man. But
Oh.
well, I can show you to the food court if you'd like.
That would be lovely.
And Isaac and Elise, as you wander around, eventually you end up seeing Valentine being led somewhere by a small creature.
An adorable creature.
Sarcastic creature.
And Revi eventually, the tiny little dog-like creature, as the priests use their healing powers, begins to look much, much better. Even the eye that was dangling out begins to somehow be fixed. Magic.
Magic. I don't plan to leave it till it's awake.
Gotcha. Well, the priests end up leaving the room and let you know that it should be all good now, but it should probably stay in the infirmary as it has special properties to help with its recovery and whatnot.
I'll get up and leave. I'm gonna see what is around this castle.
So as you leave, the tiny little creature that helped you find the infirmary asks if there's anywhere in particular you'd like to go, or if you just like a small tour of the temple.
I want a tour of the temple.
And it would excitedly be like, okay, I can do that. I've been around this place for a while. It was very large. There's a lot to see, but I suppose I'll hit you with all of the special locations first. And as it floats along and you walk alongside it, it first turns is like, that's the entrance to the temple. But I bet you know that already. And then it points to the tiny hole. And that's Datamon's lair. We're not allowed to go inside there. There's actually a lot of small cubbies like that we're not allowed in.
Really? I'll start heading in that direction.
You'll start heading towards the cubby that Datamon is in.
Correct.
Wait, no, we're not supposed to go that way.
And that's what makes this fun.
Oh, Magnangemon's gonna be really upset.
Just say it was my idea.
And as you make your way into the cubby, you see what... Well, you gotta bend down, first of all, to get in and continue on, but as you go further in, you see what seems to be like a bunch of doors, however... You can hear a ruckus going on further in.
Fun, let's keep going.
Oh, poor Isaac. He's dying. But, eventually you end up reaching Datamon's lair. Patamon, backed out pretty quickly. And you see a whole bunch of, like, machinery and stuff around, and you see it playing with the Digivice.
Would they Digivice?
Yes, Isaac tossed it one, and you notice that coming from its fingers are a whole bunch of machines and gadgets and gizmos, and it's kind of tearing the Digivice apart into pieces and laying it out on a table in front of it.
What in the hell are you doing?
I'm learning. Wait, what are you
trying
doing?
to learn?
Well, I'm trying to learn how this thing ticks. What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here.
I can go wherever I want.
Well, I don't know about that. I guess you can. But it's not just your neck on the line. Get out of here.
No one has to know. Now tell me what exactly you're trying to do.
Well, I won't know until I have taken this thing apart, but at the very least, fix it. maybe copy it? Make more? Make it better? I've
Who
heard
did
so
you
many.
take that from?
The one with the red hair showed it to me. Or threw it to me.
Alright. Since I do not trust you, I will sit here and watch you.
Hmm.
You don't have a choice, or I'll say that you led me in here.
Oh, you humans aren't nearly as nice as the stories say.
Of course we're not.
But I guess you're still nicer than the angels. And he's going to get back to his work of tearing the Digivice apart. Now, Isaac, is your headset still alive? No? Oh,
Yes.
yes? Yes, okay.
Yes, I stepped away for a quick second, yeah.
Okay. So do you end up following Isaac and the small creature?
Yes, I follow Isaac and myself, yes, yes.
Valentine, that one.
Yes, I suppose I can follow that one.
Okay. Okay, so yes, eventually the small creature leads you three to a food court. And you see like tiny little burger creatures up behind a window making food.
Digimon.
We're not supposed to eat them, are we?
No, they just make burgers. Burgers.
And Atlas, do you... Oh, go ahead, Elise.
Oh, I'm just like walk up to the window and just see what they're doing.
You see that they're preparing food.
Isaac will tap on the window and then go, I will take one of everything.
And soon they start putting out a plethora of food. More than you probably wanted. However, they start also putting out utensils, pots, pans, fun stove. No, they don't put out the stove.
Thank you. This should be sufficient. Isaac will then take as much food as he can fit on one tray neatly to a table and sit down.
I'll probably try to help him too and get some of the food.
Now, Atlas, do you pray for like hours or just a little bit of praying? What's your pray? Well, you don't need to tell me what you're praying, but
He's not praying for like a long period of time. He's just like doing like a basic like praying and like talking to his mom. And then like after he's done, he's like he figures out like he should ask someone about this area. So he goes up to like the priest, Magna Angemon. He was like, excuse me,
so
is there
you approach the priest. So you know there's two Digimon in the hall right now. Like halfway down the hall is what looks like a female human in a black garb. She somewhat looks like a nun. And then further down is the Magna Angemon. So you approach...
I mean, like, I go to the priest.
Okay.
I go... Like, I'm not going, like, directly at him, like, quickly.
Mm-hmm.
He's, like, slowly moving in there before talking to him. So he's like,
mm-hmm.
Can I have some information on this place?
What information would you like, my child?
Uh, everything?
Well, everything is a rather tall order, and while time isn't too limited, perhaps you'd like something more direct?
I mean, I don't even know why or where I am. I just I just want answers.
Well, why you're here is definitely up to who you ask. Some would call it destiny, fate. It might just be random happen chance. But you're here now. And as for where here is, well, you're currently at the temple of the Church of Beauty inside the digital world.
And where is the digital world? And like
Hmm.
while Magna Angemon's basically talking, Atlas is taking notes.
It's hard to say with too much certainty. However, we believe that the digital world exists alongside your world, and that sometimes they overlap.
So so basically your world is the mirror of our world?
Hmm, perhaps. I don't. If I'm being honest, I don't entirely know the details of the human world and the digital world's existence between each other. Now, if you were to ask Serafimon or Crusadermon here, they definitely have better answers for you, but sadly, that's likely not going to be possible.
Is what about the little guy? Can can he answer questions?
And with a confused look, the little guy?
The the little alarm clock little guy. The the one that had my digivice.
Oh no, creatures like that most certainly wouldn't know anything about the human and digital world. He's just here to fix things that break.
Yes, but does will he have answers? He looked pretty intelligent to me.
Well, he might know things about those digivices of yours, but no, he certainly wouldn't know anything more than that.
Okay. Um, do you have like a mapping area of some sort? It's very confusing to know where here is to where we were before to where we started.
Hmm. Well, we have an old map. I'm not sure how much help that would be for you. And honestly, I'd recommend just staying here, to be honest, but that's up to you guys.
I mean, wherever they'll go, I'm I'll get dragged to it.
Quite the life you have, little one.
Atlas just nods his head.
And
But
as as you're talking to the priest, you see the black robed girl get up and start to leave the hall. Um, so would you simply continue to question the priest about things?
yeah, like Atlas will keep asking like the priest about like the Digimon, And basically like other questions that he'll get throughout talking with him, just like basically getting information, writing everything down, so like he knows that Digimon are creatures made out of like data and all that, like but like
Hmm.
they have a special skill called Digivolution and all that, which is what happened to our Digimon in the sewers, like
Well,
learning that there's three different types of datas.
mhm.
That's explaining why Mushmon couldn't get through the barrier. And like
Hmm.
he's just basically getting like all of the information that Valentine knows.
One thing in particular that of that information that might not quite be up to up to pace. Now, Digimon are certainly made of data, and he will let you know that it was previously the case that whenever a Digimon was destroyed, it would simply revert to data and into a digital egg and would be reborn. However, since the world has changed, that's no longer the case, and though he still believes that Digimon are made of data, it seems like there's definitely flesh and blood components attached to them, and that they are no longer reborn.
Okay, so basically like Atlas learns that currently the Digimon are more like actual creatures than just like zeros and ones. And that if one dies, they die. They just don't reborn.
Mm-hmm. Now, meanwhile, for the foodie group, um, eventually Sister Mon Noir ends up making her way in and getting some food for herself, and sitting at a table by herself. So, what's going on with your group? Isaac
Well, once I've gotten
or
down there,
Valentine?
I would, you know, get some food, see Elise and Isaac over there eating at a table, and I would go join them, and I would thank Salamon.
No problem, Valentine Mon. And Salamon would then make her exit as she's not super hungry at the moment.
Having just ravaged a complete plethora of food in true anime fashion, Isaac's going to take a deep breath and notice the Sister Mon and Val walk in. And he's just going to shout hello to Val and then watch Sister Mon sit down for now.
I was with
Creepy.
Salamon, not Sistermon.
Well, Sister Mon did end up entering. Okay, Isaac, you followed Valentine into the dining room, but Sister Mon would end up entering after all of you and sitting by herself. But
Okay, I just got a little mixed up in the orders because of how you had everyone approach it. That is my bad.
I also
now,
was a little confused.
it's fine.
But I'd be like, "Yoo-hoo, Sistermon, you can join us if you'd like."
mm, um, she'd look over. Is there something you need?
Is there something you need?
Well, I need a
Oh
lot,
my god.
but I'm not sure there's much you can do about that.
Well, you can
So,
always come over and, ask.
uh, no, I'm fine, but if there's anything, she'd just kind of get fed up and bring her plate to you guys. Yes?
Uh, so are you? Is it Sister Mon Noir?
It is.
Are you Sister Mon Noir by chance?
Well, I don't know how you'd know that, but yes, yes.
I will rummage through my cards and pull out a Sister Mon Noir. And I would
Um,
be like, because of this.
she'd stare at it, somewhat confused. It's kind of creepy that you have pictures of me, but are you
Well,
asking
it's
for
a
it?
trading card game.
Don't worry about him. He's relatively harmless.
Would you like to learn?
Well,
Isaac sweats.
Sister Mon is just kind of put off by the whole situation, kind of like rummaging through her brain of what's going on. I guess I have time. Wait,
Awesome. And I will sit across from her. And I'll begin shuffling uh 2 decks.
um, Elise, what are you doing?
I already stated it. I'm just like look at them slightly smirking, rolling my eyes a bit as I just eat quietly and let them do their thing.
Oh, I see. I see. Yes.
And then I will teach all of them at the table, even if they don't want to learn. Because I will get hella passionate about it. But I will not do that over the microphone because it's already been 3 hours. We don't need extra just me going crazy.
Isaac?
Yes.
Well, do you have any input on all of this?
I'm going to watch the show and learn the cards.
Gotcha. You know, I planned for this to go a bit further, and I did have a cliffhanger prepared and everything, but you know what? I will grant you
Card
all.
game is the cliffhanger.
I will.
I'm just kidding.
I will grant you all a peaceful end to a session for once. The only time, don't get used to it. And we can end it here, and you can all consider things you'd like to discuss with each other in the future, since you all really want a bonfire moment.